Stability. It's the dream sold to you since childhood. Get a good education, find a secure job, save a little each month, buy a house, retire comfortably. It's safe. It's predictable. It's what responsible adults do. But here's the question nobody asks, and the one that changes everything. What is the actual cost of that stability? Not the financial cost. You know that one. Rent, mortgage, bills, taxes, those are visible. I'm talking about the invisible cost, the one that compounds silently, year after year, until you wake up one day and realize the life you built to feel secure has trapped you in quiet stagnation. Today, we're going to expose that price, the hidden toll of choosing stability over everything else, and why, for most people, the safe path is actually the most dangerous one. Because true financial freedom is never found in stability. It is found on the other side of deliberate instability. Meet Sarah. Sarah is 42. She followed the script perfectly. Good college, degree, corporate job with benefits, steady promotions, a nice apartment, a retirement account ticking upward. By every external measure, she's winning at life. Her friends envy her. Her family is proud. She has no debt. She vacations twice a year. She even has a little left over for hobbies. But if you sit with Sarah for an hour, really sit with her, something emerges. A quiet dissatisfaction she can't quite name. A sense that she's living someone else's idea of success. A gnawing awareness that at 42 she's still trading 50 hours a week for a paycheck. That her income after 20 years is comfortable but not transformative. That the house she dreams of is always 5 years away. That her biggest financial decisions now revolve around optimizing discounts and maximizing loyalty points. Sarah didn't make bad choices. She made the stable ones, the approved ones, the ones that kept her safe from risk, from judgment, from failure. But safety has a price, and Sarah is paying it every day. Not in dollars, but in the currency of unlived potential, the life that could have been built if she had chosen expansion over security. There are 3 invisible prices to the stable life. The first is opportunity cost. Every year you spend in a stable but unremarkable job is a year you don't spend building something that could scale. Every month you save aggressively but invest conservatively is a month you don't compound at the higher rates that come with intelligent risk. Every decision to prioritize security over growth is a decision to forego the exponential returns that only come from deliberate expansion. Let's make this concrete. Suppose Sarah had taken one calculated risk 15 years ago, started a side business aligned with her skills, or invested more aggressively in her own development, or even just negotiated harder at every career juncture. Compound that over time, and the gap between her stable trajectory and the expansive one is not linear. It is massive. Opportunity cost doesn't show up in your bank statement. It shows up in the parallel life you can almost see, the one where you're not still working for someone else at 42. The second price is energy cost. Stability feels safe until you realize what it's doing to your vitality. The stable life is a slow energy drain. It keeps you in a state of low-grade vigilance, managing the predictable, optimizing the incremental, avoiding anything that might disrupt the equilibrium. Over time, this creates a neurological pattern where comfort becomes the highest value. Not growth, not impact, not freedom. Your nervous system adapts. It stops seeking challenge. It stops craving expansion. It settles into maintenance mode. And here's the cruel part. The stable life convinces you this is wisdom. This is maturity. This is what adults do. But deep down, you know, the spark that used to light up when you thought about big possibilities, it's dimmer now. The hunger for creation, replaced by the rhythm of routine. You didn't notice it happening. That's the sophistication of the price. It extracts your vitality one comfortable day at a time. The third price, and the most devastating, is identity cost. The stable life doesn't just shape your finances. It shapes who you believe yourself to be. You become the person who prioritizes security, the reliable one, the one who doesn't rock the boat, the one who says, "That's not for people like me." This identity feels solid. It feels adult, but it is a cage. Because the person who builds real wealth, the kind that generates freedom, impact, legacy, is not the person who chose stability. They are the person who chose to redefine what stability even means. They are the person who understood that true stability is not a fixed income or a predictable routine. True stability is the internal capacity to create value no matter the circumstances, to generate resources from vision, not from a paycheck. Sarah's identity, competent, reliable, stable, served her well until it became her ceiling. Why does this happen? Why do smart people like Sarah end up paying this price without protest? Because the stable life is engineered, it's not accidental. It starts with the stories we're told. From childhood, get good grades, get a good job, don't take risks. From society, stability is success, volatility is failure. From family, don't be like that one who tried and lost everything. These stories are not lies, they contain truth. Risk can lead to loss. Stability can provide security, but they are incomplete. They leave out the compounding devastation of choosing the safe path in a world that rewards the expansive one. And they ignore the psychology. Your brain loves stability. It craves homeostasis. Any deviation from the familiar activates the same circuits as physical pain. This is why change feels so hard, even when the change is towards something better. The stable life hacks this system. It gives you enough comfort to quiet the alarm, enough predictability to soothe the nervous system, enough social approval to silence doubt. But it does so at the cost of your potential. The turning point, the fracture in the stable life matrix, happens when you redefine what stable actually means. Stability is not external security. Stability is internal power, the power to generate value, to create opportunities, to turn vision into resources. This redefinition requires 3 deliberate acts of instability. First, audit your current trajectory. Project it forward 5 years, 10 years. What does your stable life look like at 47, at 52? Not in vague terms, in specifics: income, time, freedom, impact. Does that future excite you, or does it make you want to look away? This audit is painful. That's why most people never do it. But pain is information. Pain is the signal that your current stability is costing more than you realized. Second, identify the one act of instability that would change the trajectory. Not 10 things. 1. The side project you've been thinking about, the skill you need to develop, the conversation about income you need to have, the investment you've been researching. Pick the one that scares you the most, but that you know deep down is aligned with who you actually are. Third, commit to it publicly. Tell someone who matters, not for accountability tactics, because declaring it out loud fractures the silent agreement you have with your stable identity. I am building something bigger. This is not about recklessness, this is about precision. One deliberate step outside the comfort matrix. Sarah is at that point now. The audit woke her up. The projection was unbearable. She's identified her one act, turning her expertise into a scalable offering. Something that works for her, not against her. She's terrified. Her survival brain is screaming, but for the first time, she's hearing it as a signal, not as truth. And on the other side of that fear is a different kind. Of stability. The kind built from creation, not preservation. The kind that generates freedom rather than guarding against loss. The invisible price of the stable life is real, but so is the invisible power of choosing differently. The question is not whether you can afford the risk. The question is whether you can afford to keep paying the price of safety. If this hit home, like it, subscribe, share with the one person in your life who needs to hear it most. Because sometimes the most loving thing you can do is help someone see the cage they're calling security. We'll go deeper next time.